I downloaded an app called The Pattern a couple of weeks ago. I saw it on Twitter. Channing Tatum was freaking out at how accurate this app was. It basically takes your date of birth and the time and the place you were born, and it gives you some insights to who you are and stuff. And I'm not really into that as much, whereas this app also provides like world update on how the moods and stuff. And let me tell you first of all that I don't believe in horoscopes and stuff like that. But what I do use them for is if it's convenient for me, as using it as a guide. So if a something like this tells me to do something and I'm like, you know what, that's actually what I need right now, then I will give it a go. So it's more to provide a focus for my life and maybe that week or something, rather than, oh my god, they said this is going to happen, so this is going to happen. Or they could say it's going to be a bad day, so it's going to be a bad day. I don't do it like that. I use it just as a guiding thing. And I was reading today's world update, which is like the general mood of the world or whatever. And it said that it's today, tomorrow, and the day after is a really good time to set some intentions for this month, but also for the next, I think, 6 months. Let's have a look. I am not sponsored by The Pattern at all. They don't know that I'm making this. I just found this quite a fun app to use, and I think it says that it sets intention for the next 2-3 years. And I thought, you know what, I am feeling a little bit directionless at the moment, and so this would be a really good time to do some goal setting and intention setting. And the reason why I decided to go ahead with following what they tell me to do is because it actually lists points that is good to consider when setting the intention doing this. And the first, and so I want to do the whole thing on camera at lifetime pretty much. I will edit out the ums and ahs and when I make a complete fool of myself, but I am going to do this with you guys. I haven't really read through the points. I've briefly scanned them through, but I haven't thought about it, so I don't know what answer's going to come out. So this should be interesting. And I want to share this process with you guys, to inspire you guys to do some goal setting, but also to let you guys know how I'm thinking about this channel and my Patreon and all my business, so that you guys understand where I'm coming from when I do things for this channel. So the first one is, if you could create your own reality, what would that be? Oh goodness. The reason why I decided to do this as well is because the questions I have read have kind of scared me and kind of makes me want to run away and not answer it. And those are good questions. If a question ever makes you feel like that, you should try answering them. So if you could create your own reality, what would that be? Well, first of all, it would be safe. I think you guys got the idea that I'm struggling with negative outside influences, and so if I could create my own reality, I would just be totally safe and protected from those negativity. So protected. I know it's not realistic in the real world, but this is me creating my own reality, so that's fine. Another thing that comes to mind is large paintings. Color, obviously. Big landscapes. I don't know how I would do it because this is not about practicalities, thankfully. But I want to paint huge, oversized landscapes and watercolor pieces. Again, I'll probably have to rent a studio to have the big enough space and stuff, but I'm not gonna worry about the realities yet or the practicalities yet. I would use YouTube as a tool for me to learn painting. To learn painting. And by that, I realized there's actually two meanings things. One is that you use YouTube to watch tutorials to learn landscape. That's not what I mean here. It's more about accountability. And what I mean by this is when, like I've been doing with the 30 days in the studio, doing this series have been hugely amazing for me actually showing up to painting and getting the paintings done and getting the learning done. And there's a battle that's going on in me where I half feel, well, one thing I feel is that I should make this channel to be of service to you guys and provide useful information to you guys. And then there's the other half of me thinking that I want to use YouTube as an accountability tool for me to actually develop as an artist. And that is a battle that I don't know how to resolve. Maybe I'll end up doing both, but I also know that when you try to do two things, you end up doing mediocre. I don't know. If you guys have any opinion on that, do let me know. Hiking and hills. I want to paint hills. I want to paint the Scottish hills, so maybe a bit of traveling to gather resource for that as well. I think calm, peaceful, happy. What else? If I could create my own reality, what would that be? Freedom to be me. Authenticity. And I know being authentic has become like a completely overused word online and social media. But now that I'm 40, I really feel like I know better who I am. I don't know fully who I am yet, but I know better, and I want to start living in that shape that I am, that I know at the moment or so far. And that is a hugely vulnerable thing to do because who I am doesn't fit in with what is socially acceptable or what's most common, all that things. And so that's really scary. And the reason why I'm slowing down how I'm talking is because even talking about potentially letting you guys in on all those things are scary to me. I'm scared of... I'm not scared of being judged, but I'm scared of being judged too early in my own process. So if I figure out that I am, say, X, or I am something, if I share it with the public too early, I could get hurt really easily. Just one single thoughtless comment could hurt me in that journey, whereas I want to develop whatever that new part of me is first until I'm pretty sure of it and I'm confident with it and I'm proud of it, and doesn't matter what other people say, then that's the time to share it with the public. I think I would definitely share it with my patrons first, a lot earlier than I would with YouTube, because YouTube isn't controlled at all, and anyone can troll you and stuff. Whereas with patrons, you guys are absolutely wonderful and incredibly supportive. So that's where I would probably start with my authenticity and sharing with you guys who I am. I feel that I haven't been sharing who I am. I've been hiding behind art supplies until now. And I hope that you guys don't mind me becoming more authentic and sharing more about myself. So I think that's a really good start for creating my own reality. I feel like if this is the reality, then I've just kind of filled in about that much. And I've still got all this to figure out of what I want my reality to be, but I think it's a really great start. So let's move on to the next one. Next one is, do you fear revealing yourself too much? Yes. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Do you fear revealing yourself too much? Yes, I do fear revealing. Oh, let's write this down. Do you fear revealing yourself too much? Let's do this first. Yes. I do, because I worry that I'm always too much for people. So maybe like too emotional. For example, last 2 days I talked about negative influences in my life, and that was really scary for me because I was worried that I would come across as being too emotional. Because you guys know that I already have mental health issues, several mental health issues, and health issues. That's another thing, like too ill too often. I quite frequently don't tell you the things I'm going through physically or mentally, because I'm battling all the things that are wrong with me on a daily basis, and I feel that if I shared them with you guys, like all of it, then it will be way too much for you guys, and you guys will think that I'm just too emotional and too ill and too needy, whereas I just want to update you guys on what's happening to me. Another one is too different. So that is about labels, and I feel that things like my gender identity and my sexuality can be quite controversial. So I find even just vaguely pointing you guys in that direction was really scary for me. And basically, whenever there's a tick box where you can tick the mainstream or the other one, I'm usually the other one. And it's hard to share that in public because people can be so judgmental, and you always have trolls around, which I'm becoming more and more aware of, which makes me want to reveal myself less and less. So this video is me trying to be brave and share with you guys more without giving you guys too much about exactly what I'm talking about. It might be a really frustrating video to watch for you guys, I'm sorry. So, do I fear revealing myself too much? I'm mixing nouns. Is there anything else? Too emotional, too different. Yeah, I feel, too much. And at the same time, too boring. I don't have an Instagram influencer life. It's just me living at home, working away. I don't buy fancy things. I don't have a fancy lifestyle. So I do worry that if I share more of my life with you guys, then you guys will be like, well, she's not stylish. She's not young, thin, and doing amazing thing with, and have like, I don't even have a beautiful mug. You know, and that seems to be like the rule number one of being a vlogger, is you have to have pretty mugs and you have to have a plethora of hot drink options. I don't have that. I just have one tea that I drink in a really boring mug. So I do worry about that too. I think that's a really good representation of all the things that, oh, that's the other thing. Too much of a beginner. This is definitely a thing that I battle with when I'm making videos, especially since I've started the 30 days in the studio. I'm showing you guys my process in learning to paint, and I recognize that a lot of people want to come to YouTube to learn to paint from someone who's already an expert, and I've never wanted to position myself as a expert myself, because I'm not, and I don't want to lie to you guys, and I don't want to be one of those beginners that try to teach others and teach the wrong thing. I don't want to teach you guys the wrong thing. So I can only share with you guys my journey and my current state. And my current state is that I'm still very new to watercolor and with painting and trying to learn to paint landscapes. And I do worry that that content isn't... Whew, this is hard, you guys. I feel completely vulnerable and naked talking to you guys about all of this stuff. But yeah, I do worry that it's boring for you guys to watch me make beginner mistakes. So yeah, I think I'm done with this page. It has been quite hard going already. So let's get a new sheet of paper. Oh, okay. So I thought the camera was recording, and it wasn't. And I went on this really long talk about answering this question, which was the next question, which is, are you aware that you're capable of making your life up any way that you desire? And I went on this really long, sad story of how I've been a approval seeker and a people pleaser growing up, and that's how I ended up with a PhD. I'll just go over the whole thing very quickly, because I wanted my parents' approval that I actually never got, because my dad couldn't even tell me what degrees I have or like what subject they were in. So that's how little interest they were in what I was doing. And when I got my PhD and I realized I wasn't going to get the approval that I needed or was seeking, I have since then been working on trying not to get too bogged down about getting approval, but I have to admit that I'm still terrible at approval seeking, and I'm terrible at being the source of my own validation, internal self-validation, and my own praise and approval, and that being enough, which is how I ended up with this little writing. I'm really sad that story didn't get recorded, because it was good. It was good stuff there, man. But one of the things I asked was, I wrote me as the source for praise and approval, and that being enough. And I know that's what I want, but I have no idea how to do it. So if you have any experience in doing this and you can offer some sage advice, then please do let me know in the comments, because I could do with your help on this a lot. There's several more questions to go, but this video has been long enough, so I am going to stop there for today. And then we will carry on with the second part of the questions tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me, and I hope at least some of you give these questions a go yourself. Do let me know how it goes for you. Okay, I will see you in the next video. Bye!